Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, pranams to you all. Hari Om. So yesterday we started on Jnana, Bhakti, Karma. So these are the three things which should go simultaneously. So integrated yoga. So second chapter 50 sloka number 50 we were going through. So profound message was there in that. What is the great teaching of Lord Krishna in this? Buddhi Yoga. He was talking about the Buddhi Yoga. So what is Buddhi Yoga? Did we remember anything Buddhi Yoga? What Lord Krishna was telling? There are two things he was emphasizing. Outer productive efficiency, then inner spiritual growth. Both should go hand in hand. So that is what Lord Krishna was telling. As you work, you bring blessings to society by your honest, efficient, cooperative labor in whatever fields you are working. See also that your inner life becomes qualitatively richer, full of joy, full of peace, full of love and concern for humanity. That is spiritual growth. Today we can call it a qualitative enrichment of human life. This we can call it as qualitative enrichment of life. So Lord Krishna says both should go hand in hand. It's not only outer productivity efficiency plus inner spiritual growth. Both should go hand in hand. Then only that society will progress. Yoga karmasu kaushala. So yoga of the Gita comprehends both dimensions of human life, outer life and inner life, outer life of work, inner life of inward development. So both should go hand in hand. With this now we will go to next sloka, 4th chapter 10th sloka. Let us see what it is. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashitaha bahavo gnana tapasa uta madbhavamagataha. Freed from attachment, fear and anger, absorbed in me, taking refuge in me, purified by the fire of knowledge, many have attained to my being. Freed from attachment, fear, anger, then absorbed in me. In me means that self. Taking refuge in me, purified by the fire of knowledge, many have attained to my being. Here is very simple Sanskrit with profound meaning, compressed in a few words. The last line says, Bahavo gnana tapasa puta madbhava magataha. Many have, last line says, many have achieved oneness with me. Earlier he had said, those who realize me truly as the divine incarnation, they come unto me. Earlier lines he was telling Lord Krishna. Earlier he had said, those who realize me truly as the divine incarnation, they come unto me. Now he repeats it. Many have achieved this spiritual realization. It is not something new. All through the ages, many people have striken and achieved this spiritual realization. Bahavo gnana tapasa. Bahavo madbhava magataha. Bahavo madbhava magataha. That is the framework of the verse. Many have come unto me and become one with me. Not one, not two, but many. It is a tremendous tradition of spiritual growth, development and realization. How did they achieve it? That is the statement in the rest of the verse. And that statement has a profound meaning in our everyday life all over the world. Three things they overcome. What are the things they overcome? What are they? Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Vita means without. Without Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Raga is sensory attachment. Bhaya is fear. Krodha is anger. Three emotions, unrestrained, which are against the moral and spiritual life of humanity. Mind you, Vedanta does not consider even fear as a friend of moral and spiritual life. So that's why Lord says Abhaya in 13th, 16th chapter, divine virtues. He says Abhayam, so fearlessness. So fear is not a spiritual virtue. Vedanta does not consider even fear as a friend of moral and spiritual life. Fear is an inhibitor of high action. To survive as a human being, we need ordinary small fears. But beyond that, fear is a negative force. Fear is a negative force. Fear is an inhibitor of high action. To survive as a human being, we need ordinary small fears. But beyond that, fear is a negative force. Though many religions put stress on fear of God, trembling due to the fear of God, it has no moral value. According to Vedanta, fear makes you moral because of external pressure. Just like the policeman's baton makes you behave the right way on the road. You are not moral thereby. You are made moral by external force. So, fear has nothing to do with moral and spiritual life. Vedanta is insistent on it. Overcome fear. A true person does not need fear at all. So, Vedanta advises fearlessness always. Vedanta is insistent on it. Overcome fear. A true person does not need fear at all. So, that emotion is added to what we have to overcome. Attachment, fear and anger. Three emotions which contain enormous energy. We are not to destroy that energy. We have to transform that energy. We don't have to destroy that energy. We have to transform that energy. But how to do? How to do so? That is the significance of the next famous phrase, Gnana Tapasa Puta, purified through the tapas and gnana. By purifying tapas and gnana. What a beautiful expression. Gnana, spiritual knowledge, is given the characteristic of tapas, which literally means austerity. Austerity of knowledge. What a beautiful idea. We often perform physical austerity, like what? Fasting and all that. That is very, very ordinary. Tapas, austerity. We do small things, like fasting. So Swamiji says fasting is a ordinary thing. Ordinary tapas, ordinary austerity. This is very ordinary. The greatest tapas is mental. Mind doing tapas. Purifying the personality through that tapas. The tapas done through the mind is the real tapas. And purifying that mind. That is called gnana tapas or knowledge tapas. Suppose a child goes to a school. He or she starts gnana tapas. He or she has to study a book, try to understand it, try to reproduce it in an essay. All this is Gnana Tapas. It is a hard job. You are training the mind thereby. So, that is one aspect of Gnana Tapas. The whole of secular education was treated in India as Gnana Tapas. Knowledge does not come straight for you. You cannot just swallow knowledge. You have to work hard for it. All of you studying, no? So we know we have to work for it. When tapas goes away from education, education becomes cheap, very cheap. And much of education all over the world today is treated as cheap by great thinkers. In our country, it is the worst. Education has become so cheap, no need to think at all. The mind does not play any part. Gnana Tapas has been taken away completely from education. Thinkers in India and in many other countries, including the USA, have expressed dissatisfaction with and criticized the current educational programs. The Gita will say that this criticism is due to the search for knowledge being separated from the concept of tapas. It is separated from concept of tapas. The human mind must be raised to the level of knowledge seeking. The human mind must be raised to the level of knowledge seeking. And what is learned must be digested. What we learn should be digested. And that must be assimilated. Human mind must be raised to the level of knowledge seeking, and what is learned must be digested, must be assimilated. All that is tapas, a very hard job, as I told you. So you hear a lecture from a teacher, then reproduce it in an essay, and then the teacher examines it and finds that you have done well. How much of mental tapas you had to go through to do this? That tapas is now almost gone. Another aspect of Gnana Tapas is still more important. Emotions of anger, lustful tendencies, hatred, fear, all these have to be burnt in the fire of knowledge. All these need to be burnt in the fire of knowledge. Emotions of anger, lustful tendencies, hatred, fear, all these have to be burnt in the fire of knowledge. That is the real tapas. That tapas is supreme. That is what makes for high character. And therefore this sloka says, Vita raga bhaya krodha. Those who have overcome raga, bhaya and krodha, means attachment, fear and anger. Madbhava manmaya. Attachment, fear and anger. Then manmaya, and have become filled with me. Mam upashrayat. Mam upashritaha. Have become devoted to me. They have known that this divine reality is their own inner self. He is the self of all. The one self, Papa calls it as subtle mysterious power, which is expressing in the form of life principle in all of us, in all beings, creatures and things. So that is known. They have known that this divine reality is their own inner self. God is seated within me in the form of life principle. The God who is seated within me is seated in everybody and in everything. They have known that this divine reality is their own inner self, is the self of all. It's not only seated within my heart, it is seated in everybody and in everything. Their mind is drawn to that great reality. Bahavo, many such Jnana tapas puta, purified in this fire of knowledge, transforming the energies of the three emotions of attachment, anger, and fear into constructive, creative forms to strengthen personality and character. That is tapas. Without tapas, none of this can happen. I often mention that we take crude oil from the earth. All of you must have heard, no? Crude oil is taken from the earth. Refine it and produce beautiful and useful petroleum products. When it is refined, no, it is beautifully used. So this human mind and body have to become a refinery, a psychological refinery. Take all these emotions and just refine them. Attachment, anger and fear, all these emotions, take it, refine them. Take all these emotions and just refine them. Out of this refining process, what comes out? All ethical and humanistic values. Ethical and humanistic values will come out. Like what? Love, compassion, fearlessness, spirit of service. When we refine, this is what comes out beautifully. We all know, no, attachment is not good, anger is not good, fear is not good, no? Same thing, that energies, if we refine and make use of it, what comes out of it is love. What else? Love, compassion. Then what all will come? Love, compassion, fearlessness, spirit of service. What can I do for others? Vedanta proclaims that the source of all values in the infinite and ever pure and ever free Atman, in the depth of the body-mind complex. Vedanta proclaims that the source of all values is the infinite and ever pure and ever free Atman, in the depth of the body-mind complex. Vedanta also holds that the science of values is the link between physical sciences and the science of spirituality. Vedanta also holds that the science of values is the link between physical sciences and the science of spirituality. That is the link. What a beautiful conception of Jnana Tapas. We have never thought about it in a modern civilization. We are thinking of external things all the time. What is happening to people? They become egoistic, petty-minded, quarrelsome, and also violent and criminals. What is happening to people? They become egoistic, petty-minded, quarrelsome, and also violent and criminal. Why? Because we are always thinking of external things. That is the reason. We never handled education from this new point of view. That was wrong. Handle your mind and refine its thoughts and emotions. Handle your mind and refine your thoughts and emotions. Your mind, your emotions, these are the nearest to you. Handle them, purify them, refine them. What a high character energy will come out of this. And how happy human life will be? How peaceful interhuman relationships will become? How loving and peaceful husband-wife relationships will become? What a fulfilled life humanity will have. And modern biology considers fulfillment as the goal of human evolution. So what we need to do? Refine our emotions and thoughts. They are the nearest to us. By doing so, we become the useful instrument. Then around us, all becomes useful instruments. Then society becomes beautiful, no? Happy place to live in. So the emphasis in sloka number 10, fourth chapter, on this concept of Jnana Tapas is highly relevant to today. It's not 5,000 years back, Lord Krishna told, but highly relevant to today's life. Have you done Jnana Tapas? Jnana is knowledge, any knowledge, but in this context, it means spiritual knowledge. Have you treated it as a tapas? The greatest tapas is Jnana Tapas. Physical tapas is very ordinary. Some endurance record, that's all. But this is something that makes for higher character, and tremendous energy comes out of the individual concerned. We have to create that refinery in ourselves. Nobody else can do it for you and for me. Each one of us, we have to do ourselves only. No one will come and do it for us. We have to create that refinery in ourselves. Nobody else can do it for you and for me. If I want an oil refinery, I am sure any foreign country can advance lot of money for the refinery. But in this field, nobody is going to help you. In spiritual line, each one has to help to ourselves. Uddhare, uddhare atmanam. Lord Krishna says very clearly. But in this field, nobody is going to help you. You have to do it yourself. Though you can get guidance from others. In the 6th chapter of the Gita, which shall be studying later, verses 5 and 6 gives us this message. Uddhare Uddharatma, same thing Swamiji is telling. 5 and 6, I will read once. It comes, Krishna very clearly says, Uddhare Uddhare Atmanam. You have to lift up your own self. Nobody is going to tell you. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanamavasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah. Rise yourself by yourself. Do not weaken yourself. You are your own friend. This is 6th, no? You are your own enemy. This is 6th, sir, 6th sloka. Anyway, 5th and 6th both will read. Then 6th. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu satrutve vartetatmaiva satruvat. One is one's own friend when he or she conquers oneself. One is one's own friend when he or she conquers oneself. If unsubdued by oneself, one operates as one's own enemy. So, Lord also tells, we have to lift our own self. Nobody can help in this field. So this is a beautiful idea which must be given to every child. From childhood they should be taught this. By the time it is 5 or 6, it must be made aware of how to make its body and mind a refinery. Beautiful life becomes, as from childhood if they are taught all these things. This is a beautiful idea which must be given to every child. By the time it is 5 or 6, it must be made aware of how to make its body and mind a refinery. It must start to refine impressions coming from outside and responding going out of itself. It must start to refine impressions coming from outside and responses going out of itself. Whatever responses are going from him and what we are receiving, both need to be refined. If one gets something bad from outside, one must refine it and send it out what is only good. If one gets something bad from outside, one must refine it and send out what is only good. That is the nature of the human psychological system when it is aware of the divine behind it. Therefore, all can do this in varying measures. So, this sloka has a tremendous reference to human development, fulfillment, happy interhuman relationships, including international relationships. Any politician can create tremendous problems for interstate relationship if he or she has not got even a little of this refinement within. But if they are well refined, they will be a source of national strength and tremendous international understanding and peace. Similarly, also in a family, between parents and children. So we have to initiate this process little by little when people are young, from the age of 5 or 6 onwards. Then it becomes more intensive from ages 12 to 14. And by the time one is 25, one must feel, yes, I have converted my body-mind complex into a laboratory for refining experience. What a beautiful idea of education. Along with it, get whatever knowledge you can get from books and books and teachers through schools and colleges. But without this, that knowledge will not be fruitful. Without this refinery system, only school, college education, it will not help. See, similarly in a family, between parents and children also. So we have to initiate this process. What is that? Refinery system. Anything bad I receive, I won't send it back bad. I refine it, only good I give. I will throw the bad. Suppose somebody comes and unpalatable, they talk to me, but I don't give it back that one because I know it is not good. I refine it. What is good only I speak. Others I just throw it. Won't keep it. Refine it. Crude oil, no, when we take, we can't use, isn't it? But same thing, if we refine it, all waste is removed, no. All unnecessary things are removed. So like that, what is not useful when it comes out, I won't give it. Others must have given it. But I won't send it same way. Now what we think, if he has told, I am going to give it back. Like that, no? That is not right thing. That is not refinery. So we have to initiate this process little by little when people are young, from the age of 5 or 6 onwards. Then it becomes more intensive from ages 12 to 14. And by that time one is 25, one must feel, yes, I have converted my body-mind complex into a laboratory for refining experience. What a beautiful idea of education. Along with it, get whatever knowledge you can get from books and teachers through colleges and schools. But without this, that knowledge will not be fruitful. Only simple knowledge will not be fruitful. Bhuta Gnana Tapas. Bhuta, purified or refined. Gnana Tapas. Gnana Tapasa. By the tapas of Gnana. Madbhavam. Madbhavagataha. They have become one with me. Bahavo, many. If many have achieved this, why not I? Lord says many have achieved. Why not I? Why can't we think like that? Why not me also? So many people all over the world, through various spiritual practices, through various ethical and moral disciplines, have come to this wonderful state. Even atheists and agnostics can come to this state, because they may deny a God there, but they cannot deny their own inner self. You are able to hear? Otherwise, mic. It's raining heavily. So much of sound is there. Thank you. Hari Om. Switch on. Both switch are on. Oh. Let us try. Hari Om. You are able to hear now? Okay. So many people all over the world, through various spiritual practices, through various ethical and moral disciplines, have come to this wonderful state. Even atheists and agnostics can come to this state, because they may deny a God there, but they cannot deny their own inner self. So, atheism, agnosticism, and all types of religious beliefs are all one in this particular process. We can overcome fear, anger, as well as unrestrained sensory attachment. Convert every experience into the pure form by this Jnana Tapas. Convert every experience into the pure form by this Jnana Tapas. Not able to hear. Lot of sound, rain sound is there. You sit nearer, that is the only thing you can do. Convert every experience into the pure form by this Jnana Tapas, or the refining capacity of the human mind. The great word tapas has been interpreted by Shankaracharya, quoting from Yajnavalkya Smriti. You are able to hear? Very little, no? The sound. So lot of sound is coming, raining. Keys are there, we have to go and bring it. It is in Ramana building. Where we sit, you have seen, no? We were sitting, no? Yeah. You have seen, no? Yes. In Ramana building, you have met us. నన్ను కలిసారు కదా మీరు మాట్లాడాం కదా అక్కడ కూర్చొని దానికి ఆపోజిట్లో ఇటు సైడ్ విండో ఉంటుంది, బాత్రూమ్కి వెళ్ళే దారిలో కీబోర్డ్ ఉంటుంది. కీబోర్డ్లో కీస్ ఉంటాయి, మైక్ అని రాసి ఉంటాయి, ఎంఐకి. ఆ మైక్ కీస్ 2 ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట, అది పట్టుకుంటారు. అడగండి లేకపోతే ఎవరన్నా అక్కడ. మైక్, యూ టేక్ ద అంబ్రిల్లా అండ్ గో, అదర్వైజ్ యూ వెయిట్, ఐ విల్ గో అండ్ బ్రింగ్, యూ మే నాట్ బి నోయింగ్. వెయిట్, అదర్వైజ్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ ఫ్యూ మినిట్స్. ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम. It is very heavily raining, that's why we are doing Ram Nam. It is coming down after, I think, another 4 or 5 minutes. Once it comes down, we will start again. It's coming down. It is so intensely raining. Oh, yeah. Sound is reduced. Huh? Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram. You will try for the mic, huh? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, we are audible? Okay. Now rain also has come down, very good. So this is a beautiful idea which must be given to every child. By the time it is 5 or 6, it must be made aware of how to make its body and mind a refinery. It must start to refine impressions coming from outside. It must start to refine impressions coming from outside and responses going out of itself. If one gets something bad from outside, one must refine it and send out what is only good. That is the nature of the human psychological system when it is aware of the divine behind it. Therefore, all can do this in varying measures. So this sloka has tremendous reference to human development, fulfillment, happy interhuman relationships, including international relationships. Any politician can create tremendous problems for interstate relationship if he or she has not got even a little of this refinement within. But if they are well refined, they will be a source of national strength and tremendous international understanding and peace. So similarly, also in a family, between parents and children. So we have to initiate this process little by little. When people are young, from the age of 5 or 6 onwards, then it becomes more intensive from ages 12 to 14. And by the time one is 25, one must feel, yes, I have converted my body and mind complex into a laboratory for refining experience. What a beautiful idea of education. Along with it, get whatever knowledge you can get from books and teachers through schools and colleges. But without this, that knowledge will not be fruitful. Puta, Jnana, Tapasa, Puta. Puta means purified or refined. Jnana, Tapasa. By the tapas of Jnana, Madbhavaha, Madbhavagataha. They have become one with me. Bahavo, many have become. If many have achieved this, why not me? Why not I? I can also try to refine and reach that ultimate source. That is the question we should ask ourselves. Why not I? So many people all over the world, through various spiritual practices, through various ethical and moral disciplines, have come to this wonderful state. So why can't I also take some path and then try? If it is possible for many, definitely it will be possible for me also to go through and do it. Even atheists and agnostics can come to this state because they may deny a God there. They may deny a God there, but they cannot deny their own inner self. So atheism, agnosticism and all types of religious beliefs are all one in this particular process. We can overcome fear, anger as well as unrestrained sensory attachment. Convert every experience into the pure form by this Jnana Tapas or the refining capacity of the human mind. The great word tapas has been interpreted by Shankaracharya. So he says the concentration of the mind and the sense organs is called tapas. I may not believe in a God, but I can become deeply spiritual, deeply ethical, deeply human. I may not believe in a God, but I can become deeply spiritual, deeply ethical, deeply human. There are many people among the agnostics who have high character. We never speak ill of agnotism and atheism from the Vedantic point of view. Ordinary religions may be afraid of these people, but not Vedanta. There is a significant verse in the Viveka Chudamani also, which explains how Vedanta achieved this broad vision. The affirmation of the theist and ultimate truth is, and the negation of the atheist that the ultimate truth is not, are only modifications of the mind and do not affect the eternal truth or the Atman. Some people say God is there, some people God is not there. Both are okay, because both are told, because self is there in us. Life is there, otherwise we are a dead body. But that is Atman. Atman, nothing can be done. It will be there. If you say God is there or not, He is there. God is not there, He is there. That Atman is there, that self is there. Vedanta welcomes everybody. You are a human being. You have a tremendous center within you, though you may not know it. There is a tremendous center within, but it is there. That is manifesting when you become moral, kind and compassionate. You are manifesting the divine within you. Vivekananda's definition of religion given earlier becomes relevant in this context. Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. What is his definition? Vivekananda's definition of religion. Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. When my ego manifests, I repel people. But when the Atman manifests, even a little, I attract people. That is the meaning of manifestation of the divine as the science of religion, as the science of human possibilities. So everyone who has manifested this divine within, even a little, becomes a beautiful person. He or she will have happy relationships with other people. So this is the most important thing for human beings to remember and implement. Beautiful sloka, very much needed, very helpful to all in our daily life. This sloka or verse occurs not only here in this Gita, but also in that great book, Mandukya Upanishad Karika of Gaudapada, Shankaracharya's teacher's teacher, who lived on the banks of the Narmada river about 17th century AD. There it is slightly different, dealing with the transcendental experience of Samadhi, beyond the world of relativity, beyond the world of name and fame. The state when the mind rises and realizes the infinite, the absolute. How does it happen? The Munis are sages, freed from attachment, fear and anger, who have gone beyond the Vedas, have realized this non-dual nirvikalpa or no-mind state, where this ever-changing universe of relativity ceases to be. So that's why no mind. What is no mind? When mind is purified, so that goes and merges into that divine power. Then there is no mind as such, it is called. The mind, when it is purified, it becomes calm, quiet, one-pointed, and slowly goes deeper and becomes one with that subtle, mysterious power called Atman, God, whatever source we say. It becomes one, like a river running towards the ocean. Finally, what happens? It gets merged. Once it goes to ocean and becomes one with the ocean. There is no name as such river, but it is there one with the ocean. There is no separately it is there. Like that, mind goes and becomes one with that subtle mysterious power, divine, the divinity. From the Advaita level of experience, this sloka says the same thing as the Gita sloka said about going beyond raga, bhaya, krodha. Those who are munis, thoughtful people, mananashilo, munihi. The Shankaras, that is Shankaracharya's define it. Ordinarily, by muni we mean a man of silence. Maunam means silence. But the real meaning is not silence of speech, but that the mind is under great discipline. Thinking is under discipline, and the person is thoughtful. That kind of a person is called a muni. Whatever he or she says, behind that there is tremendous thinking, not mere blurting out. A muni cannot blurt out. There is weight in what he or she says. In most of the talk by men and women, there is no weight. Whereas, when Muni talks, there is a weight in it. Half a sentence is enough to carry tremendous meaning for you. That's why Mahatmas, when they speak, no, one word is enough to change our life. That kind of speaking, there is a weight in it. Half a sentence is enough to carry tremendous meaning for you. That kind of speaking less and thinking more. Speaking less, thinking more is called Muni. Such Munis overcome Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. Further, they have achieved one more thing. Veda, Para, Gayaha. They have gone beyond the Vedas. Nowhere in the world's religious literature, except in India's Sanatana Dharma, will you find an expression like this of a devotee going beyond the Vedas or any other scripture. Go beyond the Vedas, beyond the Quran, beyond the Bible means don't be satisfied with belief, but experience the truth for yourself. Going beyond means don't be satisfied with the knowledge. It should become experiential. Beautiful way of bringing it. Words do not give you the truth. Truth comes only through experience. So such people who begin to experiment in spiritual life, I want to experience the highest, they go beyond the Vedas. They go beyond all the sacred books. What a beautiful revolutionary idea. Throughout India's history, we have always emphasized this point. That a mystic who experiences truth goes beyond all these holy books. Volumes are needed for you and me to learn some elements of spiritual life. But these people have lived it, experienced it. In one passage in the Vedas, they themselves, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is actually said that for one who knows Brahman, the ultimate reality, the Veda has no meaning. Vedo avedo bhavati. Veda becomes no Veda. Mark the firm language. Veda avedo bhavati. And Shankaracharya also comments on it by saying in a passage that like a servant who carries a lamp in front of you to find your way, and you have found it, so becomes the Veda to that person. What is the Veda? Utterances of those who have known the truth. Here is one who has known the truth. Why should he or she depend upon the Veda further? Already he has experienced, he won't need it. Actual experience takes you beyond books. At a certain stage, books become a botheration. The Upanishad itself says that words are only so much of distraction for such minds. Here we remember, all of you must have heard Swami Chinmayanandaji. He was studying with Swami Tapovanji. He was the guru for him, Jnana Guru. Tapovan Maharaj. He was in Himalayas. He just went once, never came back. He was stayed there only. Such a great Mahatma. And a very strict discipline. So Chinmayananda Swamiji studied under him. Very few Srishyas used to be there because very strict. It is very difficult to study under him. So one day the teacher was teaching, Tapovan Maharaji was telling, see, in the beginning we study everything. So why should we study? We study to come to know. By this knowledge we won't achieve. Knowledge is to know that by this knowledge we don't attain that. He heard, then he had a doubt. By this Vedas, books and Upanishads, if we don't achieve, why should we read this? He had a doubt. Because by knowledge we don't attain, but we are going on studying, no? Under a teacher, so much of knowledge. Veda, this Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, all that, Prasthanatraya is taught in Jnana. So he asked him, you say by knowledge we don't attain, so why should we have this? Directly we can go for experience. And then he did not answer. He said, that is Himalayas. Those days it was chill, very cool and icy and all. That time he said, Chinmaya, you kindly get me a glass of water. Get me water. That's what he said. Get me water. I am feeling thirsty. Get me water. Then he thought, in this season, how he is feeling? Well, anyway, Guru asked. He went to get it. He brought it. So then he was, just showing, give. What did I ask you to get? Water. What did you get? Water. He said, tell me, what did I ask you to get? Swamiji, water. What did you get? Water. He said, I didn't ask you to get the glass. I asked for water. Why did you get the glass? And he didn't. How can I get water without a glass? But after drinking water, what do? We keep the glass aside, no? Water only quenches the thirst. We need water only. But glass, no? Without glass, we can't take, no? Like that scriptures and all, no? Books are like a glass. After studying, we have to keep aside. We have to assimilate. What quenches is knowledge. So water only quenches the thirst, isn't it? So we can't get directly that knowledge, that experience. So scriptures helps, guides, it guides. But after that, Papa also says, once you read, understand, keep it aside, then practice it, experience it. Not going on reading and studying, discussing, doubting this and all. So that's what Veda person says. When a person is realized, what is the use of Vedas? For him, Veda also is, he has gone beyond everything. So in many passages of India's religious books, you will find this emphasis that the human being can take recourse to books in the beginning, but later on he or she has to discard them and try to realize the truth that is mentioned there. What is written there, we have to experience it. If we quote, if we go and read, if we go and talk, that is not going to happen. Later on, he or she has to discard them and try to realize the truth that is mentioned there. So, the real stress of true religion is an experience, not reading, not scholarship on being and becoming, as Vivekananda has put it. Sri Ramakrishna says it's one of his probables. Great scholars who do not practice moral and spiritual life are like vultures flying high up in the sky, but their attention is fixed on the dead bodies on the earth below. High scholarship and small mind, what is the use of that? Develop a high mind, that is more important. So, thinking people who have gone beyond the Vedas. You have already heard from the second chapter, Sri Krishna telling Arjuna, Vedas deal with the three gunas. Go beyond the three gunas, O Arjuna. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. So in this way, Gaudapada says, there have been many people who have overcome lust, fear and anger, become very thoughtful and then had gone beyond the Vedas. Bahavo, many such people are there. Jnana tapas, puta, purified by the tapas of jnana. We saw this expression in the Gita, but here in the Mandukya Karika, it is also there. There also it is mentioned. It is mentioned this Nirvikalpa state has been realized. Vikalpa means mental modification. Nirvikalpa means no mental modifications. Absolute stillness. The ocean full of waves is one state. All the waves have subsided and the ocean is perfectly calm. That is another state. So Nirvikalpohi Ayam. This Nirvikalpa state, it is spoken of with such definiteness. This Nirvikalpa state has been realized by such people. What is the nature of that state? In that state, this world of duality, this world of change, the world of relativity is completely dissolved. Like river getting dissolved, merging into the ocean. Imagine what a beautiful statement this is. Why do I see duality? We get duality through the five senses. If I can look at the reality as it is, it will be quite different. You will see everything as Brahman, everything as pure consciousness. So, Nirvikalpo Ayam Drushtaha. The whole Prapancha or the manifested world becomes completely dissolved in that ultimate reality. Everything is Brahman. That's why Papa has declared world is God. If we see the world as world, then we are caught into Maya. So if we see all the manifestation as pure consciousness God, then world is God. But actually one consciousnness expressing in multiple names and forms, varied. For that Vinoba Bhave has given a beautiful example. A painter, no? Painting is done, no? Brush is same. Painter is same. But when he paints it, different emotions are evoked, no? Different pictures. Same canvas will be there, same brush will be there, same painter will be there. No? Anger is shown, sound is, so many varieties, no? Different ways. The pictures when we see, no? Different emotions are developed. No? So like that, God is one only, manifested as the entire universe with multiplicity. Everything is Brahman, pure consciousness. When Albert Einstein was asked about the highest understanding of reality in physics, he said that there are two realities in physics today. One is matter, the other is the field. Both cannot be true, he said. For the field alone is true. The field is that in which matter is a bubble. The whole universe is like a few bubbles, that's all. That infinite energy field, that is the physical truth. Actually, God means it is a energy, one energy expressing through all names and forms. That knowledge, which is purely intellectual knowledge, becomes an experiential knowledge through this kind of tapas, which Vedanta describes as nirvikalpa. Not only so, advaya, non-dual. There is no multiplicity in this ultimate reality. There is no duality there. One infinite consciousness is there, in which all this universe appears with all its diversity. We see this diversity now with our senses. And when we realize this truth, diversity goes. Only one Atman in every being. That is the highest spiritual realization. When we discipline our sensory system, no, then we will be able to, if we go beyond three gunas, then we will be able to feel one divinity in all. In the Upanishads, this is highly commanded. Here is a wonderful passage from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Swamiji is quoting something anyway. It is already 4:30. We will continue tomorrow. So beautifully brought out. So what we need? We need refining. We should refine our body, mind, and then use it. So from childhood, children should be taught this. That is what Swamiji is advising. Anyway, Papa's grace, so much for thought for food he has given today. How to improve our sadhana, tapas. So, simple fasting is a ordinary tapas. Training the mind, body, and then refining them and then using. That is real tapas. We'll continue tomorrow. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Pranams to you all. Hari Om.